On this phone are 22 of the ultimate Shopify cheat codes that's going to help you grow your e-commerce business. These cheat codes I've collected over the last 15 years of working inside global brands and turning over $100 million in e-commerce revenue. I've used these cheat codes on launching my own e-commerce businesses and teaching people inside the e-commerce academy to get from $0 to $1 million a year. Each of these cheat codes builds on one another. Some will drive you more traffic to your store. Some are going to help you turn that traffic into sales, and some are going to help you get more value out of each one of your customers. But together, they're going to help you grow your e-commerce business. Now, I'll give you a list of these cheat codes at the end of the video. But let's get straight into cheat code number 1. Your product page is actually your sales page. You see, too many e-commerce entrepreneurs focus on making their homepage look beautiful, whereas the selling is actually done on the product page. That's the place where people make the decision whether they're going to buy your product or not buy your product. So your objective needs to be, how do we get the person from the homepage to the product page as quickly as possible so that we can optimize that product page for conversions? And that brings me on to cheat code number 2. People buy outcomes, they don't buy features. This is a huge mistake that people make. They focus on the technical aspects of the product. They'll focus on the material, the size, the ingredients, all those sorts of things. And people don't really care about that when they're starting out. What they care about is, what is this product going to do for them? What problem does it solve? What desire does it satisfy? And what you need to do is communicate that as soon as they land on that product page. We use a little trick which we call the pitch. And what the pitch is a small sentence that we put at the top of the product page, and that outlines exactly what the product does for the person and the problem that it overcomes. That way it sets the subconscious of the person that hits on that page exactly what that product is going to do for them, which either locks the customer in for considering the product to purchase, or it lets them leave the page. Either way, it does its job. Now, if it does lock them in and it's the right product, what then's going to happen is the person's going to scroll down the page and start to consider whether this product is right for them. And at that point, they're going to look at the features, they're going to look at a few other things, which brings me to cheat code number 3. You need high quality images and videos. Now, we recommend having at least 5 product images and 1 product video at a minimum. Now, the 5 product images should be a front, a back, a side, some detail shots, and a close-up shot. Now, the reason we do this is when people look at your product, they want to have as much information as possible to make a confident decision that they're buying the right thing. You need to give them the ability to virtually pick up the product and turn it around and look at it themselves. That's why we need so many product shots. Now, these product shots are really easy to take. We shoot these at home. We use this Amazon light box. I've put a link down below, and we just shoot the products with our phone in the light box, and we can get as many photos as possible. Now, I've seen stores that only have 1 or 2 photos and they just don't convert as well enough. Cheat code number 4. Get as many product reviews as fast as humanly possible. You can do a great job at convincing that the product solves the problem they need, and you can tell them all the features and benefits that this product has. But unless someone else actually validates what you're saying is true, people aren't really going to believe you. And this is where product reviews come in. So what we do when we're launching a new store is we'll send out samples to at least 20 or 30 people. We create those samples as a Shopify order within the store. What that means is when we send the sample out to the person, within a few days, one of our Shopify apps then sends them an email asking them for a review. The person that has the sample is then going to leave a real review on your store, which means you're going to have lots and lots of reviews when you get started. And that's going to help validate what you're saying about your product to the customers that are going to come buy it, increasing your conversion rate. Cheat code number 5, social proof trumps everything. What social proof is similar to reviews, where we have other people validate that your product is great. Now, reviews are amazing because people can type in, they can give a 5-star rating, but we want to level it up and we want to show physical versions of these reviews. And this is where something called UGC comes in, which stands for user-generated content. People like to hear about reviews and read reviews, but if they can actually see someone else using the product, see it in their own environment, or see it in an environment they can relate to, they're going to have a higher propensity to buy, and the consideration to purchasing from you is going to be a lot higher. So what we want to do here is take UGC style content of your products. You can even ask the people that are doing the samples to take little videos of your products. Or you could have a UGC day with your friends and everyone films different versions of your products in different environments, and then you upload those to your product page. So now on your product page, you're going to have the pitch, you're going to have 5 images, 1 video, you're going to have some reviews, you're going to have the outcomes, you're going to have the benefits, you're going to have UGC style content. You can see what's happening here. We're really refining this product page to increase the visitor's chance of buying from you. But there's another thing you need to do on your product page, and that is cheat code number 6, frequently asked questions. What you want to do here is you want to answer questions before people even ask them. Now, these questions need to be the things that people need answered before they can make a yes decision on buying. These are things like sizing, how to use the product, how long is it going to last, will it work with, and anything that people need to be confident and clear on whether or not this product is right for them, we add it in the frequently asked questions section. Pages that have frequently asked questions questions sections have a much higher conversion rate on ones that don't. Now, if you don't have a frequently asked questions section, what tends to happen is customers ask customer service a question and they need a response to come back, and that usually takes time. And if I've learned anything, money follows speed. So the faster that you can be at giving someone an answer, even an answer before they knew they had the question, you're going to convert those customers super fast. Cheat code number 8, create scarcity and urgency in your product. Now, you would have seen on a number of product stores where we'll show whether something's in stock, limited edition, or running low. Now, these types of things increase the urgency for someone to buy from you. So if you've done everything to try and convince them to buying from you, this urgency element is the next level for them not leaving the page. You see, if someone has gone to the store, they've read up about it, and they're not sure about making the decision, if you change the timeline from when they have to make that decision to being imminent, might be ending, they might run out, they might miss out on stock, then the chance of them buying there and then is going to be greater. What we want to do is we want to limit the amount of time from when they land on the store to how long they have to consider their purchase. And if we can create some urgency and create some scarcity, the chance of them buying is going to be much higher. Cheat code number 9, we want to give confidence to those that are buying from us that they're choosing to buy from the right place. Now, the way we do this is we want to give shipping confidence and we want to give order confidence. Shipping confidence is we either want to do fast and free shipping. So the cheaper and the faster, the better. So if you can offer free shipping, definitely do that. But if you can also offer fast shipping and give them confidence when they're going to receive the item, that's going to help with conversion rates as well. Now, the other element is order confidence. They want to know that if they do receive the order and there's something goes wrong, can they contact someone for help? Is there a returns policy? Is there a support line? Is there a knowledge base? How is it that we can give confidence they're buying from the right place? So in order to do this, we want to have a great shipping policy. We want to have contact information where someone can contact us any one time. We could use things like live chats. We can have form. We can have address. If you've got a physical location, give them that as well. If you can even offer phone calls, make sure you offer phone calls. The more contact points that you have, the more confident they are from buying from you. Cheat code number 10. If the only way that you have to compete is by being the cheapest, you're going to go out of business. You see, it's a race to the bottom. You're never going to be able to compete by being the cheapest if there's bigger players in market. You see, big brands can burn margins for years. They can run at a loss for many years, but small brands can't. And you absolutely cannot compete on margin with big companies. So you need to find something that allows you to compete on value as opposed to price. The brands that I see try and win by being the cheapest in market are never going to be able to scale, they're never going to be able to grow, and they're never going to be able to turn a profit. So don't try and be the cheapest to try and grow your business. Now, this leads me on to cheat code number 11. You want to focus on customer lifetime value, not necessarily making lots of profit in the first order. You need to design your business in such a way that people want to come back and buy from you. Because what that means is you can pay a little bit more to acquire a customer up front because you know that customer is going to be worth more to you over time. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by this. Let's just say you sell a product for $100 and it costs you $50 to acquire that customer. That leaves you with $50 profit on that first order. Now, let's just say that customer then buys from you every month of the year for the next 12 months. That customer will then be worth $1,200 to you. Now, if you just paid $50 to get a $1,200 customer, that's great. But if you know that over the year it's going to be $1,200 of value, you're going to spend up a lot more upfront, which means you might be able to spend $100, maybe $200 to get a $1,200 customer. Brands that understand these economics are the ones that can scale because they're not trying to make a profit in the first sale. They know that over a long term of keeping a customer in their world is much more valuable to them. So they look at the long term of the customer, not the short term of that one purchase. This brings me on to cheat code number 12. You need to master your margins. You see, a company that has the best margins will always win because it gives them more money to spend on acquiring new customers. Now, if we can spend up on acquiring customers, like I said in the previous cheat code, we're going to be able to grow our business and scale our business time and time again. So this is where we need to absolutely master our margins. Now, there's two ways that you can master margins. The first one is by increasing your prices. People always tend to sell things cheaper than they should. So the quickest way to increase your margins is to sell the products for more. Now, the second way to master your margins is to work with your suppliers to try and get the pricing of your products down. Now, I urge you to go back to your suppliers and ask them for a better deal. You'll be really surprised at how much they can shave off when you actually ask the question. We do this every 3 to 6 months. We ask for a better deal and we increase our prices. And that's how we continue to improve our margins, which means our business just gets better and stronger over time. And this brings me to cheat code number 13. We want to show value, not devalue devalue our brand. And what I mean by this is, if you're asking a certain price for your product, you need to show where the value comes from. And this is where you need to determine the problem of the person and how much they're willing to pay for that problem to go away. So we need to clearly articulate what the value of this problem is. We can either do that by showing what features and any technology that's in the product that adds value. We could also do it by showing any awards that we might have won, any certifications that we might have, or we could even do it by adding bonuses into it. I'll give you an example of one of my members. They were selling a skipping rope for $45, which was actually pretty cheap in that category. But I said to them, we need to increase the price of that, and they didn't think that they could. But what they actually did was their skipping rope came with a little carry bag, and they didn't really talk about that. So what we did was we increased the price of the skipping rope another $10, and we said it comes with a free carry bag. Nothing actually changed about the product. We were already giving them a free carry bag. We just added that on as a bonus, which showed greater value, and it didn't devalue the product. That showed that they were getting more for their money. So we don't always need to decrease the price. We just need to show more value and why you're asking that price. Cheat code number 14. Running ads amplifies your business model. Now, it amplifies it two ways. It can either amplify it for the better and grow your business and make it amazing, but it can also amplify it for the worse, and it exposes a bad business. I see many e-commerce entrepreneurs that run ads and say, my ads aren't working. But in truth, what's actually happening is your ads are amplifying a bad business. So ads are just putting your offer and your product in front of the market, and the market's telling you whether or not it's a good product. It's not the ad's fault if your business isn't working. Now, if your business is working well and you run ads, your business is going to scale. If your business isn't working very well and you run ads, it's going to absolutely burn your business to the ground. So your business model is the key to success, and the ads are just the fuel that amplifies whether the business is good or bad. Cheat code number 15 is also about ads. Ads are actually an investment in learning. Yes, they're an investment in growing your business, but they're also an investment in learning. Now, if we refer back to cheat code 14, where ads amplify a bad business, this is where we learn, right? We learn from investing in our ads by understanding what's working and what's not working. So we need to spend money on ads to test whether we have a good business, to test whether we have a good offer, to test whether we have a great product. If we don't do that, we're never going to know. So when you run ads, don't think about it that the ads aren't working. Use the ads to learn what is working and what's not working. Remove the things that aren't working, improve the things that aren't working, and then amplify the things that are working. Treat ads as investment in learning, not a cost center. Cheat code 16. We need to diversify our marketing mix. Ads are a fantastic way to get new customers in the door and to start the growth of our business and really kickstart our business. They're an important part of growth of the business. However, while we're running ads, we want to start building other marketing channels. We want to start building an email database, an SMS database, and we want to start working on our SEO optimization and building a social media following. Because as we're growing our business with ads, we want to be also building our business in the background so that if ads ever stop, they ever go away, we get suspended, we get canceled, we still have something else to rely on. I've seen way too many businesses run their business purely on ads. And what that means is they don't have thousands of customers, they have one customer, and that's the ad platform. And if that platform goes away, they don't have a business. So you need to diversify your marketing mix from paid, owned, and earned channels. Cheat code number 17. You need to surround yourself with experts and like-minded people. You can't be a master of everything. You can't do everything yourself. You need to make sure that you have the right people around you to help you, guide you, mentor you, teach you, or do the work for you. If you want to be successful, you have to have a great team around you. Now, you want to build that team up over time. One of my mentors said to me, hire slow, fire fast. And that couldn't be truer. Make sure you find the right person, you invest in them, and you can all grow together. You see, if you're in a business where everybody wins together, the entire business becomes amazing. So you've got to build the right team around you, have the right team of experts, have the right mentors, have the right community, have the right friends. Success is a team sport. Cheat code number 18 leads into this. We want to learn first and delegate second. You see, people tend to delegate first and don't learn at all, which means you're putting the growth of your business into other people's hands. This is where you might hire an agency, you might use freelancers, you might hire someone in without understanding what it is that they're doing. So the key is you want to learn the skills first, you want to understand the skills so that when you delegate them, you can actually set some KPIs and expectations of that person. That way your business grows, and if that person leaves, you still understand exactly who you need to hire and what they did wrong. So learn first, delegate second. Cheat code number 19 is one that came from Naval Ravikant, who is an amazing philosopher when it comes to business. And he says, if work doesn't feel like play, then you're in the wrong line of work. And I completely agree with this. You see, business can be hard. And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to get harder and harder to get up every day and do the same same thing over and over again if it doesn't feel like play. You see, if you're up against people where their business feels like play, they're just gonna do it every day of the week, whether they are getting paid or whether they're not getting paid. Now, if you're finding it really hard to work and you're still not getting paid, you are absolutely not gonna be able to compete against the person who loves doing their work and isn't getting paid. So in order to solve this problem, you wanna make sure you're working on something you love, that you're passionate about, that you would be willing to not get paid for. Because when you get paid for it, you're gonna feel completely elated. You're gonna be like, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. So if work doesn't feel like play, you're in the wrong line of work. Cheat code number 20, you've got to think long term. If you're going for the quick, fast wins, you're never going to win. You want to thinking 3, 4, 5-year time horizons at minimum. Even if we think about the biggest brands in the world, like Nike, they didn't actually start making decent money until 10 to 15 years into their business. And now they're a multi-billion-dollar company. But it was because they realized that it was a long-term play. They started off and they just went through the trenches, year 1, year 2, year 3. They realized that they weren't going to be successful quickly, but they knew that if they put in the hard yards now, it's going to pay off in the long run. I like to think of a business as having a little child. The first 1 or 2 years, they're just babies. 3 or 4, they become toddlers, and they get older and older, more mature and smarter as business goes on. And I bet if you look at some of the biggest businesses or the people you look up to in the world, none of them got lucky or rich overnight. All of them worked really, really hard, and they got overnight success after working really hard for 10 years. So in order to be successful, make sure you think long-term and not short-term. This leads into cheat code number 21. Don't measure your day 1 to someone else's day 500. They've been at it for 500 days, you've been at it for 1 day. You cannot compare yourself to them. Think about you doing the same thing for 500 days. You're gonna get better at it. You're gonna learn along the way, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna take wrong turns, you're gonna have speed humps, but every single day is gonna get that little bit better. Now, the person that is at day 500 has already been through all those things, so you cannot compare to them. Remember, your day 1 is completely different to someone else's day 500. And this is cheat code number 22. If you don't start, you're not gonna know where you're going to finish. And this basically means go ahead and get started, because if you don't start, you're just not gonna know what the outcome's gonna be. You're not gonna know how good you are at it, you're not gonna learn, you're not gonna have tools to play with. And what's the worst that can happen is you fail. You've learned a whole heap of stuff and you just try and do it time and time again. I even failed a few of my first e-commerce businesses, but if I didn't fail those businesses, I wouldn't have actually learned what worked and what didn't work, and it means I wouldn't have successful e-commerce businesses today. So I urge you just to get started. Start to try. Use these 22 Shopify cheat codes so that you can get a head start, get some shortcuts, and get your business up and running. Now, I've put a link down below to the ultimate Shopify cheat code checklist, so be sure to check that out. Now, if you wanted me to help you grow your e-commerce business and help you implement these cheat codes into your business, I do run the e-commerce academy, where we help e-commerce entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale their e-commerce businesses. Whether you're just starting out or whether you want to get to $1 million a year, we have a program that's suited to you. So make sure you check us out below, get in contact, and see whether we are a right fit for you. In the meantime, you can check out some of my other YouTube videos that you're going to see hanging around here.